Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode of the Go Headquarters podcast. I am Brandon Rahi, and this is a very special episode. Today with me, I have James McCune and James Suppley, and we are talking about their 60-day juicing journey. So, welcome guys.
Done today.
What day is today?
63.
63, we're done.
63.
No.
So you guys have been juicing since when?
January 1st.
Wow.
No solid food for 63 days.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So in and of itself, that's a huge feat to just do nothing but juice for even 2 weeks. Most people can't make.
Right.
So
It's been a long time.
Awesome. So we're going to get to their amazing results and talk about their journey today. I want to back up a little bit though, pre-juicing, because I have certain points I want to get across to our viewers. What were you guys doing before this whole juicing thing came up? You know, let's back up like a year or whatever. What were you guys doing for your health and fitness before the juicing seed was planted in your head?
Well, for me, a little over a year before the juicing started is when I started coming to this gym. I was 394 pounds and working out, and I just, I lost almost 100, but then gained some because I think I started convincing myself that I was working out so much that I could afford to eat some foods that I enjoy, and then I started sliding backwards, which is what led me to doing something extreme like this juice fast.
Okay, what about you?
I've been working out with Brandon for a while and always lifting, doing things, running, doing mini triathlons and everything like that, but just not watching my diet. Just hitting the gym hard, but just not losing weight, just maintaining and basically staying the same, but being able to do anything but just laborious, hard. So that's where I've been forever, ever.
Yeah. So my side of this would be for McCune. I've got a lot of years working with him, and to echo what he just said, we would do great workouts, a good combination of strength training, cardiovascular stuff. You would jump in triathlons, go run 5Ks, all these things, but the weight wasn't going to come off with fitness alone, which I knew that the whole time, and I was always trying to twist his elbow.
Always.
Pretty hard to, get on the nutrition bandwagon in some capacity. So I'm happy that we're finally kind of sitting here today. Okay, so what were your goals? Like, again, pre-juicing, right? Why were you working out? Was weight loss the goal? Or was it more just about health and fitness? What was kind of your mindset with some of that stuff? Suppley?
For me, weight loss was obviously my ultimate big goal that I was trying to achieve. I really just wanted to lose weight, but obviously at the same time I was here working out because I wanted to get to where I could physically do more and not lose my breath going up a flight of stairs, and just really be able to do a lot more, and I was able to accomplish that, but the weight loss was the huge part, which I just kind of hit that wall and I just couldn't go any further. I just felt like mentally I was breaking myself down.
Okay. McCune, what about you?
Yeah, I always wanted to lose weight, but I guess as the months went by, I just became complacent. I just could do the workouts, I could do that, and I just kind of lost track of losing the weight. And I told myself, why lose the weight when I can do everything? I can do the workout, I can do the cardio, why lose the weight? So that's kind of the mindset I found myself in.
Okay. And did you get to a point where that was ever frustrating, that I could do the workouts but the weight's staying on, something else has to give? Like, did you reach any sort of breaking point at any point, or was that at least a conversation in your head all the time? Like, oh man, if I just ate better. Like, did you know that the nutrition was the missing link?
Absolutely. Always knew that nutrition is the key. This is what you've preached to me for years and years, and this is what everybody knows. Everybody knows. Nutrition it's not 50%, it's not 60%, it's 90%. It's 90% if you want to lose weight.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. There's no doubt. And us doing this, and when we explain to you what we did, it'll be crystal clear.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so you've been exercising. We've talked. You guys got to eat cleaner. We got to tighten up the nutrition. Blah blah blah. How did the idea of juicing come up? What sparked this whole thing?
You.
Yeah.
Brandon came up with it.
Brandon all the credit.
All the credit.
It was kind of the tail end of one of our workouts, I think in early December.
Early December.
And he just wasn't really pushing it down us, but just said, hey, you guys ought to just watch this movie, and explained a little bit about it. And before he could even finish explaining, this guy was like, all right, fine, let's just do it. Let's do a juice fast. And so we were kind of committed before we saw the movie. I don't know if you've even seen the movie still.
It's called
Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead is the movie they're
Yeah, so it's a good documentary that kind of walks you through this whole 60 days that a guy did and was very successful, and it's turned into a big thing. So that's kind of where we got a lot of our guidance, but it all started with
Brandon's
our
idea.
trainer.
And we started, that was early December, and we're like, let's do it, January 1st. And that's when we started the juice diet based on that movie. And you're right, I've never seen the movie, still haven't seen the movie.
Yeah.
I just heard, from you about his journey. So that's how it started. That was the genesis. You, Brandon. Always you.
I take all the credit. No, for those of you at home that have not seen Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, for me anyway, when I saw that, not that I needed to lose weight at the time, but I remember seeing it and I wanted to start juicing. Like that day, I was like, I need a juicer, and just for health purposes, and how convenient it is to get the quantity of vegetables in with that method was inspiring to me. So if you haven't seen it, definitely check that out. So you made the decision, hey, January 1st, we're going to start juicing. What was the initial goal? What were some of the plans you guys maybe talked about? What did you need to do prep-wise? What were some of those decisions that you were kind of discussing leading up to January 1st?
Well, as far as goals, after watching the movie, my goal was naturally to lose 86 pounds, because that's what the host in the movie did. Is he lost 86 pounds, and he started off about the same size as me, and so I figured that should be my goal. So that's kind of where I started my goal off. As far as preparation goes, I don't think we didn't do a ton of preparation. Obviously, I went out and bought a juicer right away. We had one day where we met at my house and we tried juicing and blending, and just had a bunch of produce and fruit, and just tried some things out, and then we didn't wean into it. We honestly pigged out on New Year's Eve, and come January 1st, we just hit hardcore.
Yeah. About 30 beers, 40 beers, New Year's.
Yeah, but I do know that the recommendation is to slowly, start off with juice for breakfast, then juice for breakfast and lunch, and so everyone's different. But for me, it was just cold turkey, and I was just determined that I had to figure out a way to beat this.
Yeah, same with me. You had a juicer. I bought the Ninja, and I was going to blend, because there is a difference between juicing and blending. Juicing is just the pure juice from the fruit or the vegetable, and blending is everything together. So I'm like, I'm going to blend. So that's what I started out doing. He took the different route and did pure juicing, and I was like, what's the big deal? That's how we started. So that was the prep.
Awesome. And there is a big debate between juicing and blending. Juicing, as you were saying, is definitely just a pure juice, kind of concentrate, if you will, at the end of it. Like all the pulp byproduct gets eliminated and discarded at the end, whereas blending, you're going to consume all of that, which is maybe a little harder to chase down. But from a convenience side, some people opt in for blending.
Right.
Some of the recipes are maybe not as good if you're blending it versus juicing it. So there's a little bit of research to be done there, depending on which route you're going to take. So initial goals for juicing, 30 days?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
we had a goal from January 1st to January 31st, 30 days. That was our goal.
30
What
days.
can we lose? Let's lose some weight. Let's lose some serious weight. Let's see if it's worth it. Let's see if it works. Let's see if we can stick with it. And so that was our goal, right?
Yeah, I mean, in the back of my mind, I was kind of going for 60, because I knew I would not reach any ultimate goals in 30 days, but I really did not think that he would go 60, and I was really worried about, okay, what happens?
No way. I like beer too much. Too much. That's my Achilles heel.
So yeah, at that 30-day mark, it helped a lot that he decided to keep on going, and made it easier for me to keep going.
Okay. So day one, probably easy enough to get through, right? You've had your mind set on this for the better part of a month that you were going to do this. Talk to me real quick. Talk to me about, I guess that first week. Was it a like shock to the system? Was it real hard to stay away from food? Were you thinking nothing but food? Just if you can remember back to week one, what were some of the thoughts going through your minds then? How was y'all's communication working?
Yeah, we were talking constantly, and we were experiencing different things. I was not really getting any cravings. I wasn't hungry. My only troubles I found were more in social settings when, you know, friends wanted to go out to dinner or a business meeting for lunch or something like that, where I had to either just decline, and I really kind of avoided all those situations for the first couple weeks. But that was my hardest part. I didn't find that I was hungry. I wasn't craving from the beginning through the entire thing, really. So that was just a difference. You had a little different experience.
Yeah, I started blending, you know, that first week, and I was hungry. And I'll take you through it. Sort of, I blended that first week, and it was really, really hard to get the blend down because you're just doing vegetables. You're doing probably 80% vegetables, 20% fruit, and I could not enjoy. I couldn't really get down the blender, so that lasted for a week, and after that, I juiced because it was just so much easier. You could drink much larger amounts. And I went his route and I juiced, and that's what I did throughout, with smoothies in the morning and maybe a smoothie here and there. But, you know, 80-90% of the diet after that first week was juicing. And the first week was hard for me. I was hungry, I was moody, it wasn't fun. It was hard. It was the first couple weeks was miserable, hungry. Just not in a good place. But after that, it changed for the better.
Was there a time when it changed? Like at what point? At the 15-day mark? At the 20-day mark? Is there maybe a time frame that you saw a shift in how tough it was? That it became easier and normal?
I think it was as we were approaching the 30-day mark, which is what helped our decision to continue on 60 days, is when it really just got pretty simple, honestly.
Yeah,
I mean, even though I wasn't craving, my brain still, even today, has not forgotten that I like all these foods I can't be eating, but I still was thinking about them more. You know, I remember literally having dreams about eating hot dogs, which I could care less about hot dogs. It was the weirdest thing, but just silly things like that, or just a dream of just chewing. You kind of miss that feeling of just chewing something.
Sure.
But as we approached the 30-day mark, I found for both of us, just in our conversations, it got easier. It made it easier to just say, okay, we've gone this far, let's just keep going.
Okay. Do you guys notice a difference in like sleep patterns? You mentioned some social lifestyle difficulties, right? Because when we hang out with friends and stuff like that, it's usually, hey, let's go grab a bite to eat. How did that stuff go for you guys, just in terms of life, right? We back out of the nutrition topic real quick. What were some changes there?
No, the last 2 months have been boring. Not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, if you want to lose weight, it's not gonna be fun. It's gonna be goal orientated. It's gonna be cool when you lose the weight, but in a social setting, it's not fun. Your sibling or my wife, Cassie, in this matter, didn't like me because I didn't eat dinner with her for 2 months, you know, and she didn't like that, but she got to eat what she wanted for once. But she's glad I'm off this. I saved a lot of money, not going out, drinking beer, having dinners, which I love to do. So, I mean, it was boring, man, but James and I mean, literally, he became my wife for 2 months. I mean, we freaking juiced, we exercised together. Not only did we juice, we exercised just about every day. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, our dinner time was typically, our families were eating dinner and we'd both meet up and go run 4 or 5 miles, and that's kind of our routine.
Yeah.
It was a way for
every
us
day
to not have to sit at the dinner table to watch them eat, and which we did plenty of times. You know, I went to restaurants. Last night we were at a restaurant with some friends, and they were all drinking beer and wings, and we were sitting there sipping on a glass of ice water, and it's just, you know.
But dude, it sucks. It sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I missed the most, but the weight loss and the way I feel right now outweighs, 2 months. Who cares? 2 months.
Right. Because you've been doing that stuff your whole life.
Correct.
Right.
So a couple months isn't that big a deal.
And I think it's important to note it sucks in a boring way. It's not a, you're not sitting there just craving and salivating like you've got to eat something and you're just dying and starving. It's not that kind of deal. It just sucks because it's boring and your brain has not forgotten you like it, but you're not craving it. So it's a weird feeling. It's different than typical diets. And I know several people that have tried this and they've gone for, they'll go 2 meals a day for the juice and then they'll have a nice, what they call a sensible dinner, but they're starving all the time because they're continuing to eat food, and you got to get that food and detox your body, I think.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. I think I've heard that kind of feedback over the years from people that have tried juicing or different fasts or cleanses or whatever versus traditional, caloric deficit approaches or, types of food just being on like a restricted list. You're not supposed to do alcohol or sugar or grains or what have you. And I think the adherence to those plans tends to be far lower than something as black and white as this.
Yeah.
So, all right. So first 30 days, had all these experiences. You shift gears. Let's do another 30. Was there anything different about the second 30 days?
Easier, and we had it down to a science by that point. I mean, we fixed our juice, we did our smoothies, we had a schedule, we had the workout schedule. It was just so much easier and simpler and faster.
Yeah.
The second 30 days.
Yeah, I'd say that's true for me too, with the exception of maybe this last week or so, and maybe just mentally that we kind of knew we were getting to the end of what was reasonable to be doing this kind of deficit on our body. So
it's been tough. Yeah. The last week's been probably
and I think it's just because the end was in sight more than anything else. But other than that, it's the routine's been there. It's just normal. I mean, my job, I'm on the go all the time. I spend more time in my truck than I do in a desk or an office, and so I had to really prep and bring everything in a cooler, and it just became a routine. I just kind of figured out when I needed the juice and prepare and have everything ready, and exercise was pretty normal. I definitely found that my energy in the gym definitely went down that second 30 days, where yours kind of went up.
Yeah,
where you definitely have.
The energy level isn't there compared to before juicing. I would say I'm 85%, 85% to where I was before, just because of the calorie deficit. But he's a little bit more than me, but we did a little bit different. I did take a little bit fat into my juice. I mean, the only fat I took, I did coconut water, which has a little bit of fat, almond milk, a little bit of fat, and unsalted peanuts. Very little during the week, but that little bit, I think, boosted me more than you.
I
still juiced it.
Zero. I've been strictly fruits and vegetables, and trying to keep my fruits well under 20% of my intake. So 80% or more was just pure vegetables, and so there's really no fat or anything to be considered.
How many different recipes are you guys using? Like, are you cycling through the same 3 throughout the week? I mean, you're not doing the same one all day, every day, right?
No, and a lot of people do that, but no, I've probably 3 or 4. Typically what I'll do is I try to get an array of produce when I go shopping, and I was shopping about once a week, and I would usually start off with a couple recipes I know and like, and then it's towards the end of that surplus of produce, I would have whatever was left over, and I would start making little concoctions. But I've definitely figured out what I like and what I don't like, but I've tried to, the goal is to try to drink a rainbow. So not, green juice is probably the best, but you don't want to do just green. So I would get beets and carrots and, apples, and, just find different things that I like to keep it a little live, but also not where I'm getting different micronutrients that they each offer.
Yeah. What about you?
Man, I'll tell you, I didn't really follow a recipe. I basically had the same thing over the couple months. You know, kale, celery, just a big juice, you know, gallon that I drank for a few days and then redid it. For breakfast, I just mixed fruits. Didn't have any recipe. Just mixed fruits, a little bit of spinach. Nothing really particular, but I kind of winged it the whole time. I didn't follow a recipe except maybe in the very beginning. I got recipes from you and just kind of followed that the whole way. I didn't go fancy at all. Simple, basic. Smelled like grass after I was done blending, juicing. That's what my wife said. Yeah. Smells like you just cut the grass in our kitchen.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So that's it.
So 2 different approaches. One maybe a little more strategic than the other, but both having equal amounts of success by the end of the thing. So what's the plan now? We're on the last day. Today's literally the first day you guys are eating food.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? You're gonna chew solid food for the first time today.
Yeah.
So what's the first bite?
Probably, what time is it? I don't think the steak place is open, but there's probably a bar open. I'll probably drink a beer, eat a steak. Now we'll see, man. I don't know. I'm curious to see what it's going to be like.
So you don't know. You're gonna look at a menu.
Yeah.
And make a game day decision.
It feels like I could eat everything. I mean, James and I, we've read all these blogs about people coming off the juice. Some people, you can't eat nothing. You throw up. It's normal. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting.
We'll have to do part 2 of this podcast.
Yeah, we do need to do a follow-up.
Yeah. My goal is I'm gonna keep juicing to some extent, and I think I just allow myself to cheat as healthy as possible once, maybe twice a week, because I've still got quite a bit to lose to get to my ultimate goal. So I'm definitely going to eat today and maybe this weekend, and my plan is to Monday get right back on it, and maybe stick to just full juicing throughout the week and enjoy something on the weekend, be able to have a little more social life, and but I've got a long ways to go still, so I need to keep at it.
Because I mean, dude, the goal is to keep the weight off. It don't matter. I mean, hey, we lost a ton of weight. But it doesn't matter, man. If 6 months from now I want to do this again and see where we're at. You know, if we failed, we failed. But I mean, dude, we're real people, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't think I could lose this amount of weight. I didn't think I could do it because nobody likes beer and food. You know me, man. Nobody.
James and I have had at least 50 bets over the years about losing weight. But my stipulation has always been, hey, you get down to a certain weight, you've got to sustain it for 6 months.
South Beach, yo.
That has always been my stipulation, is he's got to sustain it because I know he can get down there. So right now he's down to fighting weight, so to speak, and so now it's
keeping it off. That's the goal. I mean, it doesn't mean anything if I gain it right back.
Right.
So my goal, I mean, you've got to live. Okay, you got to live. This is a great base that I've gotten to, that James and I have gotten to. So it's a base. We got to kind of maintain it and, reboot if necessary, which means, hey, we put on a few pounds, maybe go back to juice for a week or 2 weeks, not to the extent that we did it.
Right.
But, and I'm going to try to go, more meats and vegetables and fruits. I'm going to try to, take out the carbs, the starches, the breads, the pizzas. That's the goal anyways, and I've had 2 months to think about it. So I think I'm in a good place mentally, but we'll see.
Okay.
Except beer. I can't get rid of that.
It's kind of a juice though, right?
Yeah, it is.
It's like kind of juiced grains in a capacity, so that's the kind of argument crap I hear all the time.
He said it. We got it on tape.
It is.
He said it.
He said it. Thank you, Brandon, for finally agreeing.
Okay, so stats. We haven't talked about how much weight you guys have lost. So I've got some stats written down. January 1st, or December 31st, however you guys want to shake it. Before you guys started, we had Suppley starting at 334.
Right.
And what'd you weigh in at this morning?
I was 255.2.
So that is a loss of 78.8 pounds.
Good job.
In 63 days. That's badass.
Yeah.
And McCune, you started in at 232 pounds.
232.
What'd you weigh in at today?
181. 78.4.
Dang. So that is a loss of 50.6 pounds.
Crazy.
Awesome.
Crazy.
What is that combination? 127-ish, something like that together. So 78.8 pounds lost, 50.6 pounds lost in 63 days.
Ladies,
That is-
I'm married. Sorry.
Proud of you guys. I didn't know how this was going to go. I was surprised to hear, you were going to just jump on a 30-day juice fast to begin with, from just saying, hey, go watch the movie and let's start doing some juicing. So that was awesome. And immediate results. We were weighing in every week. I was seeing the weight just melt off of these guys, which of course I kind of knew was going to happen if they stayed committed to it. I don't think you guys had any setbacks through the process. I think you guys had 100% adherence.
Dude, we did not cheat.
No.
Like 100%
Crazy.
adherence.
Not one time.
That is incredible. So it was awesome to see and talk about, and I've been sharing y'all's story and progress with others that are in the same boat, that they're exercising like crazy. They don't mind the exercise, they like the exercise. They're kind of in shape in a sense, right? They can lift weights, they can do some cardio
everything.
stuff, they can move, but there's just all this excess body weight on, and that's what needs to come off to kind of complete the picture. And so you guys are shining stars of the fact that when you apply the nutrition, that's like the missing link. And it comes together really fast and intense like it has done for you guys. So I hope to see you continue in any capacity to maintain your level or continue until you reach your end goals. And we'll see what it takes to get there. In closing, is there anything you guys want to share? If somebody's watching this podcast today and they're thinking, ooh man, I should do this. Like these guys did it, I can do this. What do you want to tell them that maybe you wish you would have known going into it? Because you guys read the blogs, you watched the documentary, we talked about it. What's some missing information, or what's a motivational thing to get them to do it? Take home advice. Go.
I think if you're interested at all, I think I tell dozens of people that come up to me wondering what I'm doing to just watch the documentary. It's on Netflix. It's free if you have Netflix, and just watch the documentary, because I think that's a complete set of instructions. And then there's a ton of stuff online that supports that and gets you prepared and understanding it. And I think that to give you more credit, not just getting it started on this in the beginning, just having a coach to kind of explain things along the way, hold us accountable, have someone to weigh in every Friday, and just make sure that we're we don't have an opportunity to slip back. That helps too. So I just think that you got to have the total package. And I went into it wondering if I was going to be able to even work out. I thought it was going to be so lethargic, but I'm glad I worked out throughout the whole thing. If anything, we worked out more, and I think that's important to do as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And easy, what I take away from it. Anybody can do it. Anybody can do it. Like I kind of said before, nobody likes food, nobody likes to drink beer like I do. And just got to set your mind to it. It's not easy, but it's the fastest weight loss you can do. I mean, we were losing 1 pound a day. That's the easiest. The second thing I take away, it's hard to do it by yourself. I don't think I could have done it if I didn't have a partner, someone, in the trenches doing it with me, and that was James. So I would urge you to pick somebody, have a partner that you can trust, work out with, knock ideas off of. That's key. And of course, the most important thing is Brandon. You're the best.
Yeah.
You are the best, because but for your idea, where would we be? We'd
That's
probably,
right.
I wouldn't be anywhere. You're the best.
Why did it
You're
take
the
you
best,
so
dude.
long
To
to come up with this?
I mean, honestly.
It's my first day on the job.
Yeah.
I'm trying
It
hard.
was like a rookie,
I
dude.
thought you just exercised off the weight. I didn't know food mattered. Then I watched the movie, and
And you realized
Hollywood was right for once.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Brandon.
All right, guys, thanks for joining today. Congratulations on your success. And we're probably going to end up doing an update on this, I hope, in 6 months.
That's right.
And we'll see even better performance then.
All right.
Peace.
Awesome. See you guys next time.
Not with that on.
Take it off, baby.
Turn that off and I will. close. 50, baby.
Dang.
I'm waiting until tomorrow morning. Going out for steak tonight.
Nice. Oh.
It really was. Easiest diet I've ever done.
Easiest diet ever. You guys ready for your podcast?
You know, bro.